percent for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ubebo, your host for today's program. And with me in the studio, as you can see, is our Wednesday Tony, a public affairs analyst, a TV host, and a syndicated columnist. His name is Jide Ojo. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Good morning, Nigerians.
So, are we still in order to say Baka di Salah?
I should think so. Yes, it's still Salah. No matter how we look at it, it's still Salah. People went on that, hasn't come back. So we rejoice with our Muslim Ummah on the occasion of this 2022 is the Kabil Festival.
Yeah, well, viewers, welcome to today's program. And of course, as usual, we have 4 papers for review talking about leadership newspaper, Nigeria's most influential. We have our sister publication, National Economy, THISDAY, and The Punch. We are starting off with leadership. Leadership's headline story says, before we take the headline story, we discuss headline story. We have a story on beneath the masthead on the white background. Let's take what the story is saying. Just beneath the masthead, low remittances mass states enactment of pension scheme. Only 5 states will remit monthly contributions. That's the business story on beneath the masthead of leadership. Low remittances mass states enactment of pension scheme. Only 5 states still remit monthly contributions. And on the strip, we have Osumpo. INEC issues 1.5 million PVCs as IGP deploys 21,000 officers. Stories on page 7 of leadership. Now to the headline story. Furor over APC running mate. Muslim ticket recipe for more crisis. Northern Christians won. Furor over APC running mate. Muslim ticket recipe for more crisis. Northern Christians won. This is the headline story on leadership this Wednesday. Let's see what the writers are saying. Demand immediate replacement of Shettima. Vow not to sell same faith ticket to constituents. Let's shun religious ethnic politics. Tinubu campaign group replies. More APC members resign in protest. Headline story on leadership. Furor over APC running mate. Muslim ticket recipe for more crisis. Northern Christians won. Demand immediate replacement of Shettima. Vow not to sell same faith ticket to constituents. Let's shun religious ethnic politics. Tinubu campaign group replies as more APC members resign in protest. This is the leading story on leadership this Wednesday. And of course, THISDAY newspaper also has similar headline story. Let's see what THISDAY is saying. THISDAY newspaper. Yes, THISDAY says, Lawa, Tinubu is cornered. He's taking sides against Christians. To your tent, O Israel. Lawa, Tinubu is talking about Babachi Lawa, former SGF. Tinubu is cornered. He's taking sides against Christians. To your tent, O Israel. Once the gods wants to destroy ex-Lagos governor ruling party. Urges Buhari to invoke his powers to revoke vice presidential nomination. Says ex-Borno governor is overambitious. Machiavellian. Shettima complicit in Chibok girls abduction, terrorism, say Northern Christian leaders. Amechi's ally, Prince Will quits ruling party on same ground. Lawa, Tinubu is cornered. He's taking sides against Christians. To your tent, O Israel. Once the gods wants to destroy ex-Lagos governor ruling party. Urges Buhari to invoke his powers to revoke vice presidential nomination. Says ex-Borno governor is overambitious. Machiavellian. Shettima complicit in Chibok girls adoption terrorism, say northern Christian leaders. Amechi's ally, Prince Wiku's ruling party on same ground. Now, up above the masthead, I think there's a code there. Can you scroll it? No, just SSGF to APC. Now tell me, which Christian will vote for APC with the following contraption? Muslim presidential candidate Lagos, Muslim vice presidential candidate Borno, Muslim national chairman Nasarawa, Muslim deputy national chairman Borno, Muslim president Katsina, Muslim senate president Yobe, Muslim speaker Lagos, Muslim deputy speaker Plateau, etc. APC the great. Una dey try o. This is the quote of SGF to APC Babachi Lawa. Now, Mr. Jide, since the announcement of APC presidential candidate of his running mate, a Muslim from Borno State, former governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, there has been so many controversies and trailing his nomination. What do you have to say about that? And to date, we are still having comments, and even APC Northern Christian users threatening that they are not going to market the ticket.
Well, first and foremost, I think what the APC leadership has done is very insensitive, and it is not in tandem with the spirit of equity, justice, and fairness. Nigeria is a secular state guaranteed by the Constitution, and that secularity must be reflected in all appointments and all positions. However, we must also understand that religion and ethnicity is not a criteria for qualification, for position. And the secularity of Nigeria is not threatened, even if you have a Muslim ticket. I'm saying this against the run of emotions by the Christian community. Let's calibrate this. Even Lawal that is talking, this is a man facing corruption charges, even as a Christian. We have seen Taraba State Governor, who is a Christian, who was sent to jail for corruption. So what are we talking about? Is it religion or morality that we should be more concerned about? We have had Christian tickets in this country. We have had Muslim tickets in this. All these things that is pointing out.
Okay, Christian ticket, were they in power?
Yes, during the time of Yakubu Gowon.
You are talking about military.
Under the military, is it not part of Nigeria? The government is it not part? See, even in the southwest, and southwest, we must understand, has very significant number of Muslims. In Ekiti State, in Ondo State, as at 2022, I'm not even quoting statistics of First and Second Republic. As at this moment, the deputy to Ekiti State governor is a Christian. Tonkayo Defayemi is a Christian, and his deputy is a Christian. And yet we have Muslims in Ekiti State. In Ondo State, even the time of Mimiko, Mimiko was a Christian, even though his name is Abdurrahman Mimiko. He is a converted Christian. And his deputy was also a Christian. Right now, Akeredolu is a Christian, his deputy is a Christian. And yet there are significant Muslims in Ondo State. Heavens haven't fallen. In the first
state, you are talking about presidential.
No, wait. I'm talking about this issue that we are highlighting. It is significant. I'm not saying it's not significant. But if you have two thieves who wear religious toga, would you prefer that, or you prefer same religion that fear God and respect Constitution and govern well? See, all these things we are doing. Currently, we have a Christian Muslim. You will say it's a balanced ticket, Abi. It's a balanced ticket. But what has the vice president been able to do? Even in his position as number 2 citizen, what impact has he made? With all the ISWAP and Boko Haram, what can be directly attributed to him that he's been able to do? See, this whole issue is about politics, religion, and our cultural values. I will vote for a pagan, a diviner, a somebody who is neither a Christian or Muslim, but who fears God and ruled by the fear of God, than somebody who wears the toga of being religious or being sanctimonious, who is a thief. Babachia Lawa that is being quoted and that is making mouth everywhere, has he been discharged and acquitted of his corruption allegation over grass cutting issue that led to his sack as even the secretary to the federal government? See, this issue of balancing, yes, I'm not discountenancing the fact that it matters. And I will be the first to admit that it was a blunder on the part of APC. But see, morality and politics are not the same thing. All those who have balanced ticket, what chances do they have in 2023 elections? When people contest election, they want to win. And look, in the South, in the entire 17 states of the South, we only have one Muslim governor in Osun State. Only one. But has that delivered good governance to the predominantly Christian? We are talking that all this position is national chairman Muslim, the deputy national Muslim. These are party positions. Since 2015 that we had Muslim. 2015 that we have Muslim president, Muslim as number 3. Saraki there was a Muslim. We have what's it called? We have Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. What has that impacted in terms of governance? What is the impact of Osinbajo that we have felt, that we thought if we get another Christian to replace him, will make things a lot better? This is a vice president, even as a sitting vice president, cannot even muster significant vote in a presidential primary in which he contested. This contest is not a debate about who has bigger number of population. This is about winning power. And in the opinion of APC, this is what can get them to retain power in 2023. If the entire Northern Christian decides not to vote for APC, it still doesn't mean that APC will lose. And I tell you for free, when the chips are down, when money is down good before these same people, they will say, forget. They will collect the money and they will vote. We saw what happened. We had a pastor who contested on the platform of APC. How many votes did he have? Senior pastor, a general overseer of a church, and I'm talking of Dr. Tunde Bakari. He contested under the same APC. How many votes did he get?
Okay, that was in primaries.
In primaries.
We both know that money was the trade.
That's what I'm saying. Money. It's about money. It's about money. This whole issue of Christianity, Muslim, and all of that, when the chips are down, give it 6 months. When the election will come, may God keep us alive, we'll be alive to discuss this. When people see money, even the Igbos that are crying more than the bereaved, you will see that many of them will not even vote for Peter Obi. Because unless Peter Obi is ready to spend, like the others are ready to spend, all these obedient. When they see 5,000, they see 10,000, you will see them that they will change tune. You will see when the votes are tallied, then you start asking yourself, where are the Christian communities who said they were not going to vote? The calculation now is not about which church is bigger. It's not about who has more adherents. It's about winning power. And in winning power, all is fear. It's like you are in a war situation. And this is about game theory. You anticipate the move of your opponent. Now, how did APC intend to neutralize the advantage of Atiku? That is why they have played this Muslim ticket.
And they brought somebody from the northeast, where Atiku is from.
Atiku is from the northeast, Shetima is from the north. They will divide the vote. So if you say Atiku is a Muslim, they will also tell you Shetima is a Muslim. But if you have a Christian who is a minority, how many of them will come out to vote? And what is the size? If you put the northern population together, I will be generous to put it at 60-40. It's more like 70-30. Even though the number of Christians in the north, if you put that,
don't you think that this posture, this decision of APC feeding the Muslim ticket, that's why Muslim could be north, is going to have an impact on the future of election in the north, because there are some well-qualified northern Christians there. You have the former speaker, Dugara. We even have this, even Boss Mustafa Lalong. Most of these Christians too are there. And how do you think it's going to impact on
the impact is that
they feel that we are not good enough to be made.
No.
I think it's going to have an overall impact.
The issue is this. In Kaduna, you've never had a Christian governor until you had the Yakowa, Patrick Yakowa, who died in a plane crash. But even within the 2 years or thereabout that he was governor of Kaduna State, even people from southern Kaduna were dissatisfied with his performance.
Oh, yes.
And I'm being sincere. I'm not talking. So it's not about the person and his religion. These same people that we are voting on the basis of religion and ethnicity, they are the ones stealing us blind. And I'm saying, I would rather have a Muslim that fears God, that rules by the fear of God, than a Muslim that will come and still steal our patrimony. That is my own concern. The issue of religious protection and one of the most peddled lie since Sunday is, this is an attempt to Islamize Nigeria. It will not fly. There's no way anybody can succeed with Islamizing Nigeria. Yes, it's ISWAP, Boko Haram. We have been battling them for the past 12 years or thereabout. Have they succeeded in making Nigeria an Islamic caliphate? The point is, the truth is, let me say this. The truth is, the northern elite does not believe their southern counterpart is a true Muslim. They believe that the kind of Islam that is practiced by the South is not as pure as that of the North. Because Ashiwaju is a Muslim and he has a Christian wife. That in itself has irritated them that, can we really... And you know the difference, religious difference that takes place in the South during the Eid Fitr. In the South for many years, now they've tried to harmonize their calendar. In the South, if the North does their break of Ramadan, break of fast today, Eid Fitr, the South will do their own the day after. They are not united. And that's to tell you, even though they practice the same faith, they still believe that one is superior to the other. And even within the Islamic sect, you saw the Sakisaki movement, that they feel that they are in the minority and they stay. So all of these nuances are what also come to play. Look, between Pentecostal and Orthodox, we have our differences. The Orthodox feel that the Pentecostals are overzealous. The Pentecostals feel that the Orthodox do not even know how to serve God, that they are too mundane. They call them that they are carnal. That is what I hear my Christian brothers in the Pentecostal. They said they are carnal. They are not spirit-filled. Yet it's the same community of Christians. Do you and I see somebody who is a Seventh-day Adventist or who is a Jehovah's Witness as a true Christian. We have this whole potpourri of discrimination even within the same religion. And now I'm saying, I'm not a member of any card-carrying member of a political party. I'm saying that what may have informed this choice of Muslim is that the fact the only way to neutralize the edge that Atiku has is to have another Muslim that will come and be able to win them votes in the north. So whether that is true or not, and like I said, my own final submission on this is, you don't like what APC has presented, please, there are other platforms.
Exactly. I was even coming
Be
to
obedient.
I don't even know why
be articulate.
There's so much outcry.
Exactly. So if somebody said, oh, this is a political blunder, move to another one. There are 18 political parties and there are other parties. So if you consider this to be a serious blunder that is unpardonable and unforgivable, let's punish them.
You have a choice.
You have a choice. So let's not break our head over this. I am telling you, as a political scientist who studied politics at least to postgraduate level, that there is something called game theory in politics. Game theory is to anticipate the move of your opponent in order to checkmate. It's like you are playing the game of chess. And in this game of politics, you throw in everything. That's why you see these people engaging in vote buying. That's why they engage in violence. That's why they engage in mustering. That's why they engage in even litigations, frivolous litigations. And there are plenty of it already. You know, there are those who are already in court to disqualify Tinubu, that he committed perjury. There are those who will go to court against the candidacy of Shetima. And the court will be having. The point is, in politics, it's like war. Everything comes into play. You possibly have seen and read many of the muckraking against Peter Obi in the media.
Yes.
Up to this, I have a number of them. Opinions that have been, even by Igbos from Anambra, who are saying very unprintable things about him. They didn't say this when he didn't contest. But that's the nature and character of our politics, is pull him down. So, if anybody feels sufficiently dissatisfied with what APC has done, you have a choice. If you want to waste your vote, as some will say, you are free to waste your vote. It's not mandatory that you must vote APC. So let's be less emotional about this. APC has made its own decision on what it deems can best serve its interest in retaining power in 2023. If it's a blunder, they will live to regret it after the election. But I saw the Gombe State governor said this is a master stroke. I've also seen pastors that have lauded it. Dr. Sunday Adelaja, who has the biggest church in Ukraine.
That is in range now.
Yes, that Ukraine that is in range. But he wrote an article where he said 10 reasons why Asiwaju will win. This is a pastor talking that feels that and I've seen a Catholic priest also saying, look, this is a strategy by APC to win election. So if you are disconcerted with that, you are not happy with that, make your choice among the areas. That's why they said Nigeria is a multi-party democracy. Let's not spill our veins over whatever, quote and unquote, blunder of APC. You and I may be talking the way we are talking because we are Christians. But among the Muslims, they are lauding it. Many of them are saying this is the best thing. Gombe State governor said this is the best thing. So that is the way and manner it is. But look at Atiku. Atiku that had a balanced ticket. He made the choice of Okowa, and there has not been
PDP
peace.
has not been the same since.
There has not been peace in PDP. Yet the ticket is said to be balanced. And now they are trying to do first bending. Look at the Mecca that they have turned Port Harcourt to, trying to woo Wike. So this is politics. And in politics, all manner of things will be, even if, like somebody said, even if Asiwaju has made a choice of a pope as a running mate, those who will be dissatisfied will still be dissatisfied those who will feel that they are still marginalized by that choice will still feel marginalized. Those who will not even vote for him will not vote for him, irrespective. We know Southeast and South has not been pro APC from 1999. So it's now that people like Opus Odima and Okorocha and Dave Umaya are trying to move the Igbos into APC.
The presidency is always another matter. I remember Edo State was under APC for 8 years.
Yes.
And when it comes to presidency, they didn't vote the ruling.
I know, and I'm not discountenancing
it.
There are not one single factor that will make anybody to win or anybody to lose.
Yes.
There will be multiplicity
Yes.
of issues. For me, I will even not vote APC, not because of Muslim. I will not vote APC because they have not performed.
No, me, I'm looking at the ticket. Tinubu is the first thing I'm looking at. I'm not looking at personally Muslim ticket. I'm saying Tinubu as a South. And of course, like us Southerners who believe that presidency have to return to the South. That's the way I'm saying it first. Well, on that note, we'll move over to the next paper we have on our menu, and that is The Punch. The Punch newspaper, Osun governorship poll. Police declare war on vote buyers, deploy detectives. Osun governorship poll. Police declare war on vote buyers, deploy detectives. Riders, we have mobilized FIB operatives against vote buyers, force PRO. Over 23,100 security officials deployed as Osun prepares for governor poll. Osinbajo, Aregbesola absent. Tinubu APC governors rally support for Oyetola. That's the headline story on The Punch.
My state of Osun is having its next governorship election, which is
Osun, that is how Aregbesola
yes, it's state of Osun.
We named the state.
The state of Osun. But you see, again, this is a very tense situation. I deplore the violence that have been unleashed on Osun in the last few days. Attack on the home of
Yes,
Yusuf Lasso, former deputy speaker, and even the home of the Accord Party candidate Ake Ogunbiyi, whose bedroom was allegedly burnt while he was away to church. Over what? Politics. This is what I was saying in the preceding discussion, that in politics, everything is thrown into the whole mix. People want to intimidate you, they want to harass you, they want to suspend you, they want to neutralize you by whatever means. And you can see the political meaning that is being read into Osinbajo and Aregbesola not being at the mega rally that was held yesterday. Because there is a frosty relationship now between Aregbesola and
I thought the relationship was mended then.
It was
according to that, was it only on Ife and
yes, there was an attempt.
Yes.
There was an attempt to mend fence, but Asiwaju did not honor that invite. Only Aregbesola went. So they've not been able to do any successful fence mending. And of course, Osinbajo again miscalculation contesting against Tinubu. He knows if he goes there, he will be booed. You know, do you see the humiliation that Osinbajo suffered on the day of the primary? He went to his Greece Southwest delegate. They were booing him, calling him unprintable names. He's sitting vice president.
That was uncalled for.
It was uncalled for, but that's the nature and character of politics.
That's to tell you the supporters that were there present that day.
So that's to tell you the nature and character of politics.
The supporters that were present that day,
who are the supporters?
Of course, obviously they are not vice president supporters.
That's what I'm saying. That is why he will not go to Osun, because he needs to respect himself. If in Abuja, which is the seat of power, and as a city vice president,
of course, the governor is Tinubu's cousin.
Yes, he's his first cousin, so we are told. So the point is, of course, for the media to say they are absent shows that they know that all is not well within even the Southwest APC, and particularly in Osun State. But long story short, what is more intriguing, what is more fascinating for me is the fact that the police have learned from my criticism of their actions on how to deal with vote buying. Now they are deploying detectives. And that's the way to go. Do this as a covert operation. Do it as a sting operation. You cannot be wearing EFCC jacket and you think people will be giving money to voters in your presence. You cannot be wearing police uniform and then they will be doing this in your full glare. Now, whether this is true or not, those who want to engage in vote buying will be more discreet. If at all, they will still do it. I know they will still want to do it, but they will be more discreet. It won't be an open sale. It won't be an open bazaar like we saw in Ekiti. Because now, Punch is a very influential newspaper. People will have read it and said, look, if you are caught, Tinubu may not save you. So be wise. So they possibly would devise a new way to go about this vote buying so that they don't get caught. But I commend the Nigerian police for saying that they are going to deploy FIB operatives, that it will be a covert operation and that it will not be the way they have been doing it before. So let's hope that they will be able to make mass arrests, but not only arrest, but also prosecution. Because without prosecution,
and that they themselves will not also be induced at the end of the day.
That is another thing, because they themselves are allegedly to be the primary beneficiary of this largesse. They are the one that are first sorted out before they start doing the trading. So it's like you pay area boys before you start building your. So the good news is, let's see how they will be able to curb issue of vote buying and also election violence. Those are the two major blights on our elections. So if they are able to deal with that, and INEC is able to get its acts together, the beavers should work optimally. People should be able to get where the names of where they are going to vote. There should be no polling units with zero voter, as we witnessed in
it's even more encouraging that we have about 1.5 million.
But let's also have a massive turnout. Yes, because we don't want an election where the 1.5 million is expected and only 250, 300,000 will come. That would be too abysmal. So let there be massive turnout of voter on Saturday.
Okay. Well, viewers, we are going on a break. When we come back, we're having a discussion on NNPC's no remittance to FAC since February. And don't go away. Just stay tuned until we come back.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. This Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. With me in the studio is Jide Ojo. He's a public affairs analyst, syndicated columnist, and a TV host. It's always a pleasure to have him on the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yes, we are. Let's look at our sister publication, National Economy. Manufacturers intensify harnessing raw materials locally as forest crunch worsens. Manufacturers intensify harnessing raw materials locally as forest crunch worsens, while prices of imported raw materials now unbearable. Man.
You see, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Winifred, this is where we need the research output of our research institutes.
Let's have a national economy on our screen.
We have all these research institutes that have developed one product or the other, and those research outputs are gathering dust on the shelves. Did you know that
Yes.
I saw a video of one young man in Borno State, Maiduguri, who is converting petrol vehicles into electric cars, and is doing commercial. You know, when he will do the conversion, he will now ask his drivers to go, and it's running cheaper. In fact, his own buses are charging less than the petrol fueled vehicles are charging. That is inward looking. You know, manufacturers ought to have liaised with our tertiary institutions, our research institutes, on how they can source many of these their raw materials locally. Many of the things we import from China, from Europe, from America, all these materials are available locally.
And that is why our universities too are not also supposed to be. They're
They're
also
not-
supposed to be research centers.
They do. Did you know that as a lecturer, there are three core responsibilities of a lecturer in the university?
Yes.
One is teaching, research, and community service. Those are the three reasons why you are appointed a lecturer: to teach, to research, in fact, to research first, to teach, and to perform community service.
We saw what is happening in US, Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Between, Stanford University.
The Stanford University that's the brain behind the Silicon Valley. But what do we see in our own? Even universities that has, it's only very few universities that have set up what they call ventures. Like UI, University of Ibadan has a UI Ventures.
Oh yes.
That they do property, they do water, they do IT skill, and some. In University of Lagos, where I did my first degree, they also have a venture where they built like shops, within the university community, are run by Unilife Ventures. They have soap making, they have car wash, they have water factory. They have things like that.
Supposed to come up with research because even Third Fund is also paying for that.
Exactly. But did you know that Third Fund complained that even the research fund that is in billions is not being assessed?
Yes, it's not
because
being
they are
assessed.
not writing quality proposals.
Oh yes. And I was opportune to be in a workshop then. That was several years ago. And the World Bank official did say that most of the research is being done here in Nigeria end up in the cupboards.
On the shelves. And that is why the manufacturers ought to liaise to say, look,
because there's supposed to be a
synergy. Look, many of these products that we import are available here.
Yes.
But we prefer to import this raw material. Now they don't have the forex. They don't have the foreign exchange to do the imports. Now they are looking inward. Did you know that even I've seen people convert tires, the waste to wealth? People converting tires to different other things.
Yes.
Look at all these plastic bottles. People recycling them.
Yes.
People recycling waste to generate electricity. This is research. This is what our research institutes are supposed to get the private sector to fund.
For how many years, and they are not considering that they are.
So many of them have patented their researches, but because of lack of funds, they cannot mass produce. Look at all the agro industries, all these combine harvesters, planters, even what is used in the in the agribusiness. Many of them can be developed locally. All these planters, you don't have to import all these combine harvesters, sprinkler, Look, during the COVID-19, didn't you see the ingenuity of Nigerians when they could not import anything? We started manufacturing this nose mask. We start manufacturing sanitizers. I can bet you that most of the sanitizers in circulation today are produced locally. And I also recall that some universities were producing these sanitizers and nose masks. That is why they said necessity is the mother of invention. It is high time our manufacturers look inward, partner with the ivory towers, the universities, and other research institutes to say, look, this is our product. This is what we do. Now we don't have foreign exchange to bring. Can you help us to design and develop or experiment? Like all this food processing. We shouldn't be importing food juice. We shouldn't be importing.
When we have trees, mango trees, oranges, even going to waste, you see they falling off like that. We don't even know. We don't know how to take care of the end product.
That is it. Value addition is what is lacking in our. Okay, look at it. They make gold, diamond, limestone, bauxite, all of this. When you have extracted them from the ground, they export it. Meanwhile, you are supposed to add value before you export so that it can command higher returns. But unfortunately, there was a time about 3-4 years ago that we were celebrating that we are exporting yam. How much will you gain exporting tubers of yam when you can process those yam into finished products?
So the same thing with cocoa then. Remember we're the
largest producer of what of rubber?
Cocoa. We have to take it out.
No, what of rubber?
Yes,
should we be importing Chinese tires as at this 2022 when we have Sapele, rubbers in Sapele and many of the other southern states where you can get the raw materials in the years that Bata that it was into manufacturing of footwear. When they were operating in Nigeria, they were sourcing their materials locally. All this rubber plantation, that is the primary raw material you need to manufacture tire. Why are we now importing tires when there's a high demand for those tires in Nigeria? Look at batteries. That we used to have Exide battery in Ibadan. Exide battery, which is very durable. Berek battery. Berek, ever-ready battery. These are used for transistor radio. Today, all these manufacturing concerns have been shut down, and people are now importing these batteries in their own form, as if they cannot be manufactured locally. Innocent that is producing vehicles, cars in Inewi, 90% of the materials they use are sourced locally. That's car manufacturing. We have steel, we have iron, we have iron ore, we have petrochemicals. That is why I'm happy that we are going through this recession. We are going through this hardship. Let people think, use their brain to think, and they will see that God will give them. You know, somebody said, stop praying for money. Pray for divine ideas. It's ideas that rule the world. Look, how much did Jack Dorsey want to sell Twitter to Elon Musk? 43 or 44 billion dollars, not naira. So if Jack Dorsey get that, if not for the thing that I think Elon Musk has pulled out, he said he's not buying again or something. But imagine, that is somebody's brainchild that is worth that much, and Elon Musk was ready to buy. Even if Elon Musk said he's not buying, doesn't mean that Jack Dorsey is running Twitter at a loss. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook. Look at this is a guy that is not up to 30 years of age. Maybe he's now 32 or 30. That's a guy billionaire in dollars. It's ideas that you need. Stop praying for money. Somebody brought the idea of packaging water in those bottles. in those days, what we used to do is you go fetch water from the water basin and drink. Today, everybody has water bottle in their fridges. It's idea that somebody had. So many ideas that are begging for implementation. So all this foreign exchange to bring in finished products from Europe, from China, from Singapore, from Asia. Now that there is no more foreign exchange, let them use the naira that they have to source the materials locally. But then there is a big challenge: energy.
Yes, that's the problem.
Even when you have the raw
Look at
materials,
the price of diesel.
the
now.
price of diesel. I was on NTA yesterday evening to discuss this issue of the price of diesel. To bring a articulated lorry of diesel from Lagos to Abuja, you pay over 1 million. Over 1 million for transport alone. And according to the IPMAN secretary that was with me,
As we speak, most of the filling stations have increased their.
of course, to 185. The last,
185, yes.
the last I bought 2 days ago was 185, and I happily bought it because I've been buying 300 naira per liter from the black market.
But that leads us to the question that I just want us to discuss because we are gradually running out of time. It's the issue of NNPC's no remittance to FAC, and we've been told that there's been a shortfall of about over 5 trillion naira since, and there's a bit of disquiet. Nobody's talking about it. What is happening? And NNPC is not replying the situation. Reacting
NNPC,
to the story.
I hope it's not election money they are trying to warehouse.
And the governors too are also quiet on the issue.
5 trillion is a lot of money.
Yes.
If NNPC has not remitted 5 trillion and they are rebuffing the National Assembly, then EFCC and ICPC should move in. Because it's an economic crime.
FROS said they have had to be a stopgap. The money that state governments have shared.
Did you know how much is also being collected as stamp duty that is not accounted for? It's also in trillion. Stamp duty that is being collected, 50 now stamp duty. As if we are still in the era of posting letter from one point to another. When do there are emails now? But government is still collecting stamp duty. This impunity must stop. I thought we have seen the end of all of these shenanigans with the passage of Petroleum Industry Act that have made NNPC to run as a commercial entity. Unfortunately, that law has been suspended.
Yes, it has.
Till after the elections. And unfortunately, I'm not sure the National Assembly has passed that alteration that they made to allow the law to be suspended in terms of operations. I will not know why Mele Kyari is behaving like a parallel government. 5 trillion is a huge sum of money.
It is.
5 trillion will solve ASU's problem. In fact, ASU is asking, to the best of my knowledge, ASU is asking for 1.2 trillion over a 6-year period. And all that has been remitted thus far to ASU is not up to 20% of that sum. 1.2 as at 2013. So, if 5 trillion is remitted, we can solve a lot of our infrastructural challenges. In fact, 5 trillion will build another refineries. So, I really, like I said,
I'm also surprised that the governors too have not raised their alarm. They are also quiet about
it. Are you sure they are keeping quiet? I think on a number of occasions, the governors have even had to sue federal government over certain issues.
Yes, over deductions.
The deductions, Paris Fund, and even the repayment of their bailout that the federal government said they were going to start deducting. They said they should not deduct. And of course, over VAT, you see the
The
governor
VAT issue is still in Supreme
is still
Court.
in the Supreme Court. So I'm not sure the governors forum will be keeping quiet. Maybe they are still doing back channel.
Because they
Uh,
just did the share allocation, was it just last week, and it was short up.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, this is the era of politics, and there are 22 governors of APC out of 36. So they may actually want to do it as a family affair, trying to discuss with the president, who is actually the substantive minister of petroleum resources. Because I'm sure that if the president, as substantive minister of petroleum the resources, if he directs Mele Kyari to make that remittance, provided that is true, he will not have choice. And that's why opposition elements are insinuating that maybe this is election funds. There have been media speculations that they want to buy vote in 2023, and that they are looking for money whichever way. Because even as over this issue of 4 trillion naira of fuel subsidy, a lot of questions are being asked. Are we seeing the impact of that fuel subsidy?
No, we are not, definitely. You see that even where I live, most of the filling stations are already closed. It's only one that function once in a while that serve free.
And they cannot sell at official rate, because like some of them, they are operating at a loss. That's why many of them, they are. My friend that lives in Nasarawa State said they don't have fuel scarcity, because unless you are not ready to buy at their own price, that's when you go and queue at a few NNPC stations there. For most people, they just drive in, buy at maybe 250, 200, because those people have to top it to make it profitable for them. According to the IMPAN secretary, when we were discussing this issue of fuel yesterday on NTA, he told me that many of them are the member of independent independent marketers, have to go and buy from the major marketers at official rate. And now, when you sell for me at 165 or 166, and I have to truck it to my station, and you want me to sell at 165, will I not pay workers? Will I not? And they are also paying taxes. Don't forget. So it is not profitable for them. That's why many of them. In fact, I was surprised that one of the major marketers operating in my neck of woods actually did reflect the 185 on his meter. It's not even that something that they are doing mostly.
Yes.
They reflected it. But I don't know whether by today, maybe they will still be allowed to sell at that amount, because they took advantage of it.
They've affected it on their meter. So I don't think
No, I'm saying that the NNPC keeps saying no, it's illegal for them to sell above the pump price. But what I learned is that only the major marketers are being given products by the NNPC. And it is from these major marketers that independent marketers will now go and buy. And they will not buy, they will buy at unofficial amount, because they won't give them this product the way NNPC gave it to them.
Okay.
So they have to add their own to be able to make profit on whatever they are selling. But it's a very unfortunate scenario that we have on our hands. But I'm so happy that manufacturers are looking inward for their raw materials. If we are able to solve the energy problem, because many small,
it's a bit better now.
Many micro, small, and medium enterprises have shut down because of this energy challenge. How can you buy diesel at 850 naira and put the body on final consumer, and they will not be scared? Even hospitals that are charging high amount for patient, many patients are now resorting to agbo. This local concoction.
University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital even added
1,000 naira. But they have recanted. I think pressure was mounted. I read
they could have built it into it without announcing it.
Without announcing, that's what they should have done. But having announced it, I think they were
Like we are
pressured.
just discussing these filling stations, and did they have to announce it that they're increasing?
They
Just so
do,
that
yeah.
we drove to
So
the filling
I
station
think
and
they
saw
made
that
a mistake
they are
by
paying.
even announcing. They should have just increased the charges on their patients to reflect it. But I think they've been forced to recount. I read that they're no longer charging it. They even said that they have written off the bills of many patients as part of their corporate social responsibility and all of that. But I know that there must have been pressure mounted that, oh, you want to set a pace for every other teaching hospital, because before you know it, UNN will also start charging 1,500. BUK will start charging 2,000, and then they will say, when you say did it, what did you do? So they have made them to recount that 1,000 naira additional payment. But this Winifred, I pity whoever will take over from Buhari.
It's not going to be
There will be honeymoon for that administration. You saw Baba saying that
it's tired, but I was like, well, it's just a few months to go.
He said he's in a hurry to leave, that the job is very tough.
He could have said it in the first 10.
No, you know that. What do you expect him to say then? He has fulfilled his lifelong ambition. This is the job. This is the job he asked for 12 years. 12 years, so now he's now saying he's in a hurry to go. That
Midland has actually took on the Daily Trust on his editorial, and they insisted that they're actually leaving the country better off the way they met it.
Well, they can say all they like, but I'm not sure that they are leaving the country better than they met it. With this hike in insecurity, hike in cost of living, many businesses collapsing. You know, they've not been able to resolve the unemployment rate.
Kidnappers being so brazen.
You know, it's a complex web, but they can backslap and commend themselves for having done well. But for many Nigerians, including my own self, I'm not sure they have performed to the expectation of many Nigerians. In fact, the Buhari presidency has demystified him. You know, it's sometimes Yorubas will say, I see me that means if only I was around, you know, those tips will not have had their way. But now that you are around, things are rubbing with impunity.
Everybody down.
So you know when after the death of Awolowo, Tim Odumego Ojukwu said, Awolowo was the best president Nigeria never had. Who knew whether if Awolowo had been president, he would have been stoned out of office? You know, but these things do happen. Everybody thought that Buhari has the silver bullet to solve all of Nigeria's problems. Now the man himself said he's tired, he just want to, he's in a hurry to go.
And he does not even want to stay in his better house in Kaduna. He would rather move far away to Daura.
So it tells you that uneasy lies there that wears the crown. But we will survive. I think it's Vero Maroge that sang Nigeria will survive. We will survive it. We will outlive this administration by the grace of Almighty God. But things are really, really very big. Very, very big. And with the resignation of Boris Johnson last week, everybody said, and then the Sri Lankan president, they said he has run away overnight now. He has run out of the country. Now, and that's the power of the people. But, well, we just hope that things will work better for APC so that they can turn things around and prevent a mass protest like what we witnessed in Sri Lanka.
Thank you so much. That is the takeaway on today's Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. With me in the studio has been a public affairs analyst, a syndicated columnist, and a TV host, Jojo. I always look forward to having you around, and I also look forward to having you at the same time next week.
Inshallah.
So viewers, this is what we call it today on today's program. Don't forget, tomorrow is another day. See you there. I remain Winifred. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-61 558. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.